Hi. As you know, some people can read easily, and some people have a challenge. And then some people are in the middle, easy and challenging. But thanks to recent last 15, 20 years of research, we know that it's very possible, and it has been proven to be true, that we human beings can change the pathways to our brains when it comes to reading and writing. And one thing I want you all to remember is the only difference in those different kinds of people is the amount of time and effort that that individual chooses to put into reading success. So join us today as we begin on a page. I have to tell the truth, it's my least favorite page. It's all about the letters E-I that sound like E, and I-E that sound like A. So get ready, get your sloppy copies out. You'll need 2 pieces of paper, and Puka's on the left if you forget. And we're going to have 2 columns on each piece of paper. Thanks. On the first column, to the far left, I would like you to write the letters I-E with an equal sign to the letter E with a straight line above it. I'll repeat that again. In the first column on the left, I would like you to write I-E equals, and then E with a line above it.
I equals.
I-E equals.
Oh. I-E.
So I would cross that out.
And thank you, Nahiku, for doing a sloppy copy. No shame. And notice again, she has not chosen pencils. She's using pens. So it's easy to line out.
I-E equals E with a line above the E.
Very good. And of course, Nahiku, that E with the line above it is going to make the sound what?
E.
Correct. To the right of that column, I would like you to write C-E-I. Repeat.
C-E-I.
Equals the sound of E with a straight line above it.
Equals E with a straight line above it.
Thank you. Going across the page, the next column is E-I says. And I'll repeat that again. E-I. The word says, which is a 4-letter word, of which the guide, the instructional guide, might help Nahiku to write that if she needs.
So start with what 2 letters are we starting with?
E-I.
Great. Says.
S-A-Y. S.
Yes. Beautiful.
With a.
If you want to put it, put the 2 up there.
Oh.
Is it it's the 2, yeah?
It's the second sound of
Beautiful,
S.
beautiful. Yay.
I thought we were talking about apostrophe.
Where's the ding, ding, ding? Okay.
And that says A with the line above it. So put your A, the letter A, with a straight line above it.
So E-I says A. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
And part of the reason, Nahiku and Mahina, that this is my least favorite page is because there are so many exceptions. So in the fourth column on the far right, I would like you to write the word exceptions. And your instructional guide can help you, but let's review the sounds and the ability to drop your jaw for a syllable. Go ahead, exceptions.
Exception. Exception.
How many times did your jaw drop? Exception.
3.
Yeah. So how many syllables in the word exception?
Exception has 3 syllables.
Beautiful. So we're gonna try to write that word. I'm gonna refer to this chart again. So what do we hear in the first syllable? X.
EX.
Okay. Okay. What do we hear in the second syllable?
Sep.
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 So what makes what?
C. E.
How did you know it was a C?
X. I mean, it sounds like there's an E between the X.
Because there's the E, yeah? So sep.
Sep. S-E-P.
You told me, you wanted to tell me it was.
A Z.
Listening to ourselves sometimes is one of our hardest tasks.
X, sep.
Okay, now I'm going to insert here something that our guide has not arrived at yet. So exception has a root word, or actually it's a root piece. And it also has a prefix and a suffix. So Mahina, say exception.
Exception.
Where does that word come from? Is there another word embedded in that word?
Yes. Do you hear another word in that word?
Exception.
Accept.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you hear accept? Accept. I know where you're going with it. Well, I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, let's see if our guide knows how, since we pulled out accept. What's the last? Let's say accept.
Accept.
Repeat.
Except.
What's the last sound in accept?
Sept. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Sept.
Sound? You're right.
So what's the last sound? Yep.
It is a t. That is your hint that the shun isn't going to have a sh. It's going to have a t somewhere in there, and it's going to be followed by 3 letters that are going to do this strange thing by making that last syllable say shun, but not look like it at all.
Okay, so what was that last, when we said accept, what was the last sound that we heard? Accept. Accept.
T.
Okay, put the T there. Okay, and
Does the
so this is going, I'm just gonna tell it to you right now, okay? So we hear shun, and in my head, if I didn't know any better, I would probably be S-H-U-N, shun. But there are many different ways to make that shun, many different letter combinations to make that sound. So it's gonna start with a T, and I will just tell you that we're gonna end it with I-O-N.
I-O-N.
And what is that word?
Accepting.
Except.
Shin.
So in this case, yeah, it's going to be shun. Yep,
Shunned.
that T-I-O-N is gonna be shun, so exception.
Exception.
Very nicely said. Also, I liked when they were problem solving this word, Nahiku took away the last suffix morpheme. She took it away and made it singular. I'm going to ask Nahiku to please add the morpheme to the end of that word that makes it more than one.
Ah. So right now this is one exception.
Exceptioning.
What do we do when we
What's that?
want to show that there's more than one thing? We usually add
An S. Except.
and there's going to be more than one exception. So we want to put that morpheme. In this case, it's a one-letter morpheme.
It is a
It's
one-letter
just S.
morpheme that has
Put an
meaning.
S right there. Yep, it has meaning. It's there for a reason.
Thank you. Okay, so let us skip a line and insert a good word in the first column, because this is what you have to do for yourself. You have to believe. Repeat.
Believe.
Good. Let's watch our guide and student figure out how they're going to write this down.
Okay, let's do our syllables. Okay, and believe.
Believe.
How many times did your jaw drop?
Believe.
Yeah.
Twice.
So let's look at the first syllable. First syllable, B.
B.
How do you think you're going to write that?
B-E.
Correct. Okay, now come back up to this rule over here, okay? Because this is the rule that we're practicing on. So I want to say believe. Did you hear a long E sound? Did you hear the E say its name? Okay, and remember that this equals that. So how do you think you're going to write leave?
L-I-E.
And
V. Believed.
yeah,
V.
just believe.
Believe.
No, it's not past tense. So what letter?
V. V.
Yes. Now go back to those rules. Can an English word,
You must add another E.
because an English word cannot end in
U or V.
beautiful? Awesome. Okay.
Very nice. And let's move on to the next column. Your word is receive. Receive. We have to receive it in our ears and our eyes. Repeat.
Receive is the word. Say receive.
Receive.
How many syllables?
Receive. 2.
Okay, let's start with the first syllable. What's the first syllable?
Re.
Yeah.
R-E.
Okay, and the second syllable?
Leave.
What's your word?
Relieve. What?
Receive is the word. It's okay. We're all good.
Receive.
Okay,
Sieve.
sieve is the second syllable. This is your code over here, right? Okay, so sieve is your second syllable. How do you think you're going to write that?
Sieve.
Using. This says E, right? This is saying its name. You're gonna
Sieve.
use
But there's just
receive. Sieve.
Sieve. So an S.
Sounds like
An S.
It sounds
But-
like an S, but it's followed by an E, so you're going to use a...
I just get confused because there's a C, but it's supposed to say E, so I don't see how that kind of works.
But it's a C followed by an E. So what's our rule? If a C is followed by an E, the C makes the
Okay. C
Uh-huh.
CEI.
Uh-huh. What's your last sound in the word receive?
Eve.
Just receive
Eve.
is your last sound.
V.
Uh-huh.
V.
And
E.
yes, because we know that English word cannot end with a V. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay.
In your third column, this is what a bride wears in front of her face. What could it be?
Veil.
Yes, ma'am. Your word is veil.
Or you could wear a veil to a funeral.
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's review the rule up here though, okay? So what does it say?
EI says A.
Okay, and let's look at ourselves while we say veil.
Got it.
I like that Nahiku is actually using a different kind of a mirror today. Sometimes you can use any kind of a mirror or talk to yourself in the mirror in the bathroom.
I'm okay.
We also have another one here. Okay. Veil.
Veil.
Now let's say it slowly and listen for the vowel sound. What sound is the vowel making? Veil.
Veil.
The vowel, veil. Ve. A. Beautiful. And this is saying what? This is saying EI says A. So now the word is veil.
Veil.
Mhm.
Veil.
Veil.
V. V. E. I.
Uh-huh.
Ve.
Oh.
O.
Oh.
Just a lifting of the tongue.
O.
There's
Wo. Lu.
what letter says oh.
L.
Correct. And that is veil that you spelled beautifully. That looks awesome. Okay. Uh-oh, get ready for the exception.
Well, before we go to that exception, since it's so difficult for me, let's add one more word to all three columns. Let's go all the way over to the left. And I heard you, Nahiku. You said believe or belief. So let's skip a line and know that if you believe in yourself, you have a belief. Something that's really an idea.
Okay. Belief. Remember this rule. Let's look at ourselves in the mirror.
Belief?
Belief.
Sounds like my friend's name, Belief.
Your friend has, his name is Belief? That's beautiful. How does he spell his name? Do you know?
No idea.
Okay, well, if his name is spelled like this, you will now also know how to spell your friend's name. Okay, let's go. Belief. How many syllables?
Belief. 2.
Yes. Tell me the first, what's the first syllable?
B.
Second syllable.
Leaf.
Last sound.
E.
Belief. So that's the last sound. Okay? Now, remember in this, right? Go back up here, look at your code. All right, how do you think you would spell belief? And talk and do.
BELIE. So F.
Yes. That's it. Now you got to ask your friend if that's how to spell his name. Belief. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I believe in you so much. Yay. Okay.
Okay, the next word that goes in the second column is a word that stumps me sometimes, and it's a receipt. It's something you get when you spend money. You get a receipt. So let's give it a try with our guide helping.
Okay, receipt. Whew. Can I just say that there's a silent letter in there? I'll just say it
Yes,
right now.
there is.
Okay, and I'll tell you where to put it because otherwise there's no way you would guess. Oh, you can use whatever mirror you want to use. But sometimes they can guess, we can guess because we've seen it a lot. And then, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, ready? Receipt. Receipt. How many syllables?
1.
Receipt.
Receipt. 2.
What's the first syllable?
Receipt.
And the second syllable? Seat. Okay. So we know how to write the first syllable. Oh, we've come back to this column over here.
3.
Yep.
E-R.
And
Excuse me? What did you say?
oh,
I heard it.
I said E-R and I meant to say R-E.
Ding! She can self-correct herself now. How many times have you done that?
many. Okay. So let's look up here again, right? C-E-I, the E-I will make the E sound. So C.
Seat. C-E-I.
Okay, I'm going to tell you where that silent letter goes. It goes right, it goes next.
E.
And that silent letter is P. I got to
Oh.
tell you what it is. It's crazy.
Well, how does P become silent?
Because do we say receipt? No, we say receipt.
In my head, I say receipt.
I do that to help myself spell.
That is a learning trick. Sometimes you have to have a trick to train your brain. And even then, like me, I still have to repeat the trick every time.
So what's that word?
Receipt.
Yep.
And could you spell it for the people who are listening?
R-E-C-E-I-P-T.
And what is it?
Receipt.
Good. So a trick, what your mom was saying, is these weird words, I say it in my head with making that sound, receipt. And then I don't forget. But then I have to remember when I'm talking to people to just say receipt, so I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
I do it with all silent letter words.
Many people use tricks.
Receipt.
Very good.
So receipt.
Yes. Receipt. Yes. Beautiful. And right now Nahiku
Believe.
is breaking up her words into syllables. Yes. Believe. That one is believe.
Believe.
Uh-huh.
Receive.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Exceptions. T-I-O-N-S says shuns.
And now we are in the third column where the E-I says A. And this is the V word that runs through our body, and it is called a vein. Repeat.
Vein.
Alrighty.
Vein.
Vein. How many syllables?
Vein.
Vein. How many syllables is that?
Vein. Vein.
Vein.
1.
Yeah. Okay.
V-E-I-N.
Beautiful.
Vein.
Correct. That is the most beautiful vein I've ever seen. Very nice.
Great. Now we're at our exceptions. The exceptions have no rhyme or reason. And again, they create words that we may have to memorize by a mnemonic, by a visual pattern, by talking to ourselves. I've picked one that I have a hard time with. The word is foreign. This word is foreign to me. I'm not familiar with it. And when I see it, I have to really concentrate on it. So let's see how our guide helps with this one.
Okay. Let's.
What's the word?
Is it foreign or foreign or foreign?
Foreign? Or are you talking
Foreign. That's the word, foreign. Foreign. Foreign.
There is a thing called pragmatic language we'll discuss later on. Some people call it foreign. Some people call it with a r sound in there. You can choose how you use it. Put it in a sentence or in a phrase and see how it sounds. Try it.
A lot of, you mean use it in a sentence? A lot. I would love to travel
Foreign.
to a foreign country.
Did you hear about that new foreign student?
But I like that question, and you use that word foreign in a sentence beautifully.
Go here.
Okay. Okay, so let's break it up into syllables. Ready? Foreign.
And
Foreign.
foreign.
Okay?
Foreign.
Foreign. So what do you think the first syllable, how are you going to write the first syllable?
F-O-R.
Yep. Oh, but let's take this back. What's an exception? What does it mean when something is an exception
Yes.
to a rule? What does that mean? Do you know? Do you know what that means? If something is an exception to a rule, it means it doesn't follow that rule. Okay?
Why is it a part of it? Why is it a part of it if it's not following the rule?
I know.
Because
so
it's
that's
an
why that's what Miss
exception?
Elizabeth was saying. Yeah, it's an exception to the rule. So,
And I like that you asked that, but they just want to tell you by putting their hands in the air and saying, but sometimes it doesn't fit. And because these words are words as you mature that you see often or use verbally. That's why. No, you could. Thanks for asking.
just doesn't follow the rule.
Foreign.
So if this, right, if this says that EI says says A,
And
we're going to know that this doesn't follow that, okay? But let's use an EI. And just know that it's not going to say A this time. So let's use an EI over here for, yeah, EI, and in this case it's foreign. Now here's a silent letter here, okay? It's going to be a G. And then what's the last sound we hear? Okay, what word is that?
Foreign.
Can you spell it for us?
You need to draw it in the air with me?
I would love to draw in the air with you. I forgot all about that. I get
Thank
all
you
excited.
for
Okay, let's go.
remembering strategies.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. F-O-R-E-I-G-N. Foreign.
Beautiful. Thank you for inviting me to do that with you. Yeah. So, right, this is called an exception to the rule because it's a sound with the EI.
And you really can't even say what it sounds like because it's an exception. And I want you, because we're here in this beautiful state of Hawaii, I would like you to say the word sovereign. Repeat.
Sovereign. Like sovereign state?
Yes. We say it in pragmatic language quickly, sovereign, sovereign. But in reality, it's sovereign. Let's try it.
Okay, and we'll go a little slower so we can hear the syllables. Ready, begin. Sovereign. How many syllables?
Sovereign. 3.
Correct. Okay, Now let's go ahead and grab our pens. Oh, first, what's the first syllable?
Sov.
Sov. Okay, how do you think we're going to write sov?
Of. O-S-O-V.
Beautiful.
Sov.
Now we got a lot of different ways to say make the sound, but what is your brain telling you
The
right
most
now?
common used one.
Is
E-R.
beautiful. That's it.
Sov.
And how did you do the N syllable for foreign?
This that?
Yep.
Sov.
Sov,
N.
which 4 letters making that sound. So use
Oh.
the same ones that you see in for and sovereign.
E-I-G-N.
Yes.
Sovereign.
Yes. Nahiku. I am so thrilled. Yes. Shall we spell it in the air? Can we spell it in the air together? David, you just close your eyes. Don't go out of the room. Okay, go. Say it.
S-O-V-E-R-E-I-G-N.
Yay! Sovereign.
Now that we've finished my least favorite page, I'd like to close down with my favorite page. This page has 3 different ways of spelling the sound sh. Long ago in this series, sh was what you say to the other keiki as the baby is falling asleep. Shh, and that's spelled S-H. This time, we're going to be looking at different spellings for the same sound, shh. So, Nahiku and Mahina, you're going to have 2 pieces of paper beside each other, and on the far left, on the top line of that left side of the paper, I would like you to write T-I.
T-I.
In the second column, beside it, write the letters S-I.
S-I.
Crossing over to the next page, I would like you to write the letter C-I.
C-I.
Thank you. So we're going to begin with the far left. Mahina, do you feel like you're ready to begin this?
Absolutely.
I'm going to pass her the master book.
Okay, Nahiku. The first word that we're going to work with is nation. So let's grab our mirrors and let's figure out the sounds. Ready? Begin. Nation. Okay, how many syllables?
2.
Okay, what's the first syllable?
Ne.
Go ahead and write that down.
N-E. Ne.
I'm sorry. And did you say, can you say that again? I just drifted off for a
Nation.
second. Yeah, so
Ne.
nay. And how are you going to write nay?
Ne. N-E or
Or
N-C-E-I.
A.
Oh, ne. Ne.
And correct. Now,
Ne.
nation has something to do with natural. What would the first sound in the first syllable, let's syllabicate natural.
Natural.
Natural. So nat.
Natural. Nat.
What is the last sound in nat? Mhm. So we have nation. I just want you to make the connection between the t in natural, and that's why we're going to use a ti when we're writing
Natural.
nation.
Sure.
We're going to write nation. I probably confused you.
Yeah, I'm confused
Yep,
now with
so
nation
just
and natural.
Leave
Get
natural alone.
natural
We don't
out.
even need to talk about natural. But we're making the shun sound
The ti.
using the ti. So N-A-T-I.
Ti for the sh. Ti. Nat.
Nation.
Nation. On.
Yep.
On.
How would you write nation?
On.
Correct. What is your word?
Nation.
Okay, and how would you spell nation? Let's write it together in the air.
N-A-T-I-O-N.
Okay. So, when we do our next word, I'll try to kind of explain what I was doing up there. Okay? All right, our next word is going to be collection. What is our word going to be?
Collection.
Okay, let's do our syllables together. Okay? Collection. Let's do it one more time. Collection. Okay? Collection. Do you hear a word inside the word
Call.
collection? Okay, other than that, do you hear another word? Collection. Collection. How about the first part? Collect. What does that sound like?
Connect. Collect.
Yes. Okay, so shun is a morpheme that we're adding to the word collect. Okay, so collection. Call. How do you think you're going to write that?
Call. C-A-L-L.
So it's going to be C-O-L. Okay, so we know that the O.
Coal. Like
Coal.
Or cold.
Mm-hmm. We're on the same column.
C-O-L.
Okay.
Call.
Lek. Next syllable. Lek.
Lek. L-C-E.
Lek. Not L-C-E, but L. Le.
Le. E-L.
Le.
Just
E.
an E.
Just an E. Yep.
L-E. Collect.
Lek. And it's not going to be followed by an E or an I or a Y, so it's just going to be,
C.
yep. Now, when,
Lek. And with the O-N. So that's the shun.
that's the shun. So do me a favor, get a colored marker or pencil. And then underline the word collect in collection. So that was not my instructions. Underline the word collect in collection. Collect. Okay. Collect. Underline the T also. Okay. All right. Now, no, okay.
For the
So the final word in collect is what? I mean, the final letter in, oh my gosh, final letter in collect is what?
T.
Okay. So because the final letter in collect is T, your Shun is going to start with a what?
T.
Right? So that's why it's under the TI column and then ON. Okay? So maybe we circle. Pick another color and circle the T. And that tells you that the same letter that the word ends with is going to be the letter that starts your morpheme that says shun. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Next word. Potential. What's your word?
Potential.
Okay. And you syllabicated that thing automatically. So now let's do it a little bit more slowly. Go.
Potential.
Alrighty. Start with your first syllable.
Po.
Po. Same column.
P-O.
10.
T-I-E-N.
Okay. Now, it's not potential this time, right? It's potential.
Shun.
Potential. But we know we're using this. Yes.
T-I-O-N.
Potential. All.
Shawl.
All.
All.
Uh-huh. So it's T-I, all.
A-L.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Next word. Patient.
We all need that.
We all need that. We all need patience. Yeah. And we all need to be patient. So, patient. How many syllables?
Patient.
Okay. First syllable.
Like patient? Like you're my patient?
Yeah. And that is the same spelling as be patient. They both have the same spelling.
Because you have to be patient on your patient.
Totally. Okay, pay.
Pay?
Pay.
P-A-Y?
That is its own word, but in the
Pay.
first syllable of patient, it's just P-A.
P-A...
Now,
Pay...
what's the second syllable?
Shun?
Patient. Shent. Say shent.
Shent?
Okay. Now we know we're making the sound with what?
T-I...
Okay.
T-I.
Okay.
Shin?
Ent.
Ent?
Yeah, remember those endings that we...
E-N-T?
E-N-T?
E-N-T.
You're on
Tent?
fire. How do you spell patient?
P-A-T-I-E-N-T.
Okay, moving right along. We're not going to lose momentum. Let's go. Ambition. Say ambition.
Ambition.
Okay, and you know we're doing syllables, so slower with syllables.
And
Ambition.
shun.
First syllable.
Am.
Am.
Am. Am. Am.
Am.
Like
What's next?
am.
Am.
Like an amp.
Just like I am. Am. Be.
Be. Like be?
Be.
Oh, be.
Like be. Be like be.
Be.
Shun.
T-I-O-N. Shun.
Beautiful. And the word is
Ambition.
ambition. Yep. And we usually don't say ambition, but that helps us to remember how to spell it. It certainly does. Excellent. Okay. Look at these multisyllabic words that you're just, boom. Okay, next word. Substantial.
Substantial.
What do you think? You want to try it? Just with, you want to break it down? Looks like you do. Sub.
What?
The word is substantial.
Substantial. Substantial.
Alrighty, let's go ahead. Start with
Sub.
yes.
Sob or
Sub. Sup, but sub. Well, like when you tell your friend sup, but this time it's sub. That probably didn't help.
S-U-B.
Okay, what is the next syllable? Substantial.
Stan?
Stan. I had a friend named Stan. But listen to the combination of sounds. So,
S-T. S-T.
Stan.
Substantial.
Substantial is the word. How about we finish Stan before we move on to Shul? So Stan.
And
Yep. Now let's move on to Shawl.
all? Like all or all?
Substantial. Substantial. What word?
Substantial.
What
All?
does it? Yes, and stop right
A-N.
there because you just wrote the word substantial. What's the word?
Substantial.
Beautiful. Okay. Next column. Okay, I was gonna ask, but I thought you would let me know.
It's because they're having fun.
We're gonna move on to the SI. You want to do your syllables
yeah.
first? Yeah, go for it.
And
Go for it.
Poland. Oh.
There you go. Yeah, say it, right?
Potential.
it.
Pay. Pay.
That one's Paul. You're already patient. It's Paul. 2 syllables.
Okay.
And nation is also 2 syllables. If you want to, you don't have to.
I forgot about
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, here we go. So, the next column is what? Yeah, and how do you spell sh in the next column?
S-I.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so our first word is going to be session. This is a wonderful session so far. Okay, so let's say
Shet.
it. Session.
Shun.
Session. Okay?
Se.
Ses.
Sesh.
Listen,
Ses?
just listen. Ses. Sean. Ses. Sean. Do it. Ses.
Ses.
Sean.
Shun.
'Kay.
Sesh. Shun.
Yeah. So let's start with ses.
Ses.
Okay, I'm gonna give you it. It's gonna start with an S. And the only reason why I'm telling you that is I know that you know your rules so well that you know that a C followed by an E makes the S sound. And I love that you are referring to your rules all the time. So that's why I'm telling you it's going to start with an S and it'll be followed by an E and it still makes the S sound. So it's going to be ses with an S. S. And it's going to be another S.
Then the
Okay.
I.
And then, no. So this is our first syllable, ses.
Ses.
Now we're going to write shun. No, ses.
Oh.
is the first syllable. Second syllable, Sean. S-I. How do you spell session?
Session.
Spell it.
S-E-S-I.
How many S's do you have?
3 S's.
No, you only have 2. You crossed out the middle. Oh, I'm sorry. How many over here? How many together?
2.
Yep. So try spell it again.
S.
Notice
S.
how
E. S.
One more S.
S. I. O. N.
Yeah, very nice. Miss Elizabeth, what were you going to say? Notice how. Okay. Session. Can we say, let's spell it together one more time.
S.
E.
E.
S.
S.
I. O.
O.
N.
N.
And it spells
Session.
beautiful. Okay, next word. Let's put it after the, right? Sean. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sean. I love all of your strategies that you have for yourself. You've had to make strategies for yourself your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coping mechanisms.
Yep. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Nahiko, the next word is going to be compression.
Compression.
Okay, so let's syllabicate. Okay, begin.
Compression.
Sean. If I just say those 2 syllables, let's start with the 2 syllables. Compress. Is that a word? Compress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compress.
Yes, Maikai. So it ends with an S, yeah? Compress. So even if we didn't have this clue up here that said everything in this column is going to end with SI, we would be able to tell, we would know, because the word compress ends with an
S.
S. Okay? So our word is compression. Compression. Go for it.
Com. O-M. S. Wait, C-O-M. Press.
Press.
Per.
Pre.
Oh, pre.
Pre.
P-A.
Purr.
Oh.
Purr. The P goes right into the
keeping in mind, it's not an it's a
yes, so
Compr.
Just go right
is
into
the
the R.
blend.
Pr. Just go right into the R. Yeah. Okay, so it's compress.
S.
2 letters. S.
C-E.
E-S.
E-S. S. Compress.
Uh-huh. No. E-S. E-S. It's okay. E-S. P-R-E-S.
Okay,
Press.
can we stop
Yeah.
here? I think it was the fatigue.
Yep.
You could see
Yep.
it happening.
Yep.
Estimate how long you've been at it.
7 minutes.
What?
No, since we started
Since we
the day.
started this whole filming.
Fatigue means the
To get tired.
Don't
Don't you feel it?
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
it. Do you
In
feel
the last
fatigue?
5 minutes.
Yes.
For
in the
hardly.
last, just started here.
Mm-hmm.
This was fine. That's why. But I would like to stop here because this is such a good page. We could come back
Yep.
to it. We could go to the next activity or take a break. What do you want to do?
Something with shapes or
Right,
something
Okay.
more
Okay, so
of the,
advice you gave on Monday was that when you start to feel fatigued, finish your word and
Yes.
then take a
Yeah.
break, right? So here we have compress,
compress,
shun.
shun,
So how did we spell that here? And you're going to add the same thing there.
S-I-O-N.
Yes.
Compression.
Very nice. So we can come back and just
Yep.
pick up right here and
Beautiful.
here because these are real important.
Yeah.
And you can tell they are, right? I mean,
By my head being like, what? What is this letters? And there's the other letter. So they're important.
yeah,
You
and I
did
can see
really
your brain
well.
go, ding, ding.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen this a million times, but I never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of, yeah, I get it. Okay, I gotta walk out of here. I'm getting cold.
Okay.
And let's put this away and we'll just come back to it. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.